Maryland gets a nice road win thanks to Rodney Rice making the three there with 7 seconds left. And look, there's sort of two sides of this conversation, right? You have the Maryland piece and then you have the Indiana piece. But Kevin, let's start with this Maryland team. You know, I've been kind of back and forth on them. I don't really know what to make of them. I know they beat UCLA. I know they won today on the road, although they were 3.5-point favorites. Don't cover that number. But are they sort of finding something here a little bit as we get into January and February, proving that maybe they are more than, a quad 4 merchant?
Look, I thought this two-game road trip at Illinois, at Indiana was just massive for their confidence, because not just this season, but really under Willard, 3 years now, they have really struggled on the road. And they've struggled in those kind of 50-50 games that you have to win if you want to elevate your program. And for them to go thump a good Illinois team and then turn around and back that up with a road win at Assembly Hall. Again, Indiana's down, but one of the toughest places to play in college basketball still. Mm-hmm. Like that says something, and I think it's a huge, huge win for their confidence, right? And for this group going forward to have that energy behind them that they can win on the road, it's massive. It boosts their resume in a big way as they try to climb the seed list. We were doing bracketology, obviously fielding the 68 Mondays and Fridays. They were in that 8, 9, 10 seed range. Like, don't win these two games, all of a sudden maybe you're sweating the bubble. Now with these 2 wins, 2 quad ones, like totally changes your season and puts them in a position to climb pretty quickly. So, I saw them Thursday in Champaign. I thought they were super impressive. Obviously, their size with Queen and Reese is really impressive, but I don't think people really realize just how good Rodney Rice has been, and they really don't realize how good Jacoby Gillespie has been. He is a phenomenal point guard. 9 assists today, 8 assists, 1 turnover against Illinois. Can go make tough shots, can handle the ball in clutch moments, can guard the ball. He has been a huge addition, and when you have good point guard play and physicality up front, you got a chance to do some special things in March.
Tyler, you gotta appreciate this Maryland team, right? I mean, because you don't really see a ton of the 2 big lineups in 2025, man, and that's who they are with Queen and Reese.
Yeah, you know me. I love going inside. I love old school basketball. I'm not too big on the hemorrhage threes, and that makes you a better team. And I'm with Sweeney on this one. These 2 quad 1 road wins for Maryland are huge. Winning at Illinois, you know what I think of Illinois. I think they're a quality team. I think they can. They have the capability of making a tournament run, and also Illinois is hungry. They weren't, they just lost a couple in a row. They lost the game before, and then Maryland comes in there and wins that, and then goes to Assembly Hall. Now, I will say Indiana, they're one of those teams where they were desperate for a win. I think they've lost the last 4 or 5 maybe prior to this game. So their fans are hungry. The atmosphere was ready for a win. They got the best of Indiana, in my opinion. I felt like Indiana kind of threw everything at them because they were a little bit in panic mode, and it says a lot about Maryland.
This Indiana team, Kevin, I mean, obviously we know what would be being said on this network if Jeff Goodman was working today. Thankfully, we've given him the night off. I'm a little conflicted. Obviously, it's a home loss. Maybe the fact that they were 3.5-point home underdogs probably says everything you need to know about this Indiana team. So how do you sort of square a technical sort of overperform, but maybe that's only because the bar has just been moved so low for this Hoosiers team?
Yeah, look, I thought this week was going to tell us a lot. You go and win at Ohio State, and you get a little bit of momentum back, a little bit of confidence back, and you're staring down coming up at Purdue, at Wisconsin, home Michigan. Like, that is a gauntlet, right? At Michigan State after that. Like, that 4-game gauntlet, You knew was coming. And so you get a beatable Northwestern team in Evanston, and then you get a home game against Maryland. And I thought their fight was good, right? Like, they rolled over against Illinois. It was very obvious. I thought these 2 games, they battled, but they just don't have enough cohesion. They make too many mental mistakes against Northwestern. Like the threes they were giving up in the second half, just like really simple defensive execution stuff that they didn't execute, right? And there's just too many lapses and too many small errors that they make to win close games. And it's been a big problem. It was a big problem today. I thought their Execution in the final possession today, the shot that they got for Miles Rice was not great. It's a out of timeout situation with under 5 to go. Like, you can get a better look than a turnaround 3 in the corner, and that's what they got. So, look, I think the gauntlet is coming. I'd be surprised if Indiana navigates it well. For now, sort of hovering around that bubble picture. But if they get popped here in the next couple of weeks, the way I think that they will, and I think that the numbers say that they will, I think they'll be double-digit underdogs in 3 of their next 4. All of a sudden, I think that the picture gets very bleak very fast for Mike Woodson.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, this is a brand, or it should be a brand. Maybe brands are different in 2025, just the environment that we're in. But this is an Indiana team that's lost 4 or 5, and like Kevin mentioned, you have the real gauntlet coming up. So can they fight out of this, or is the bottom just going to continue to fall out here for Mike Woodson?
I'm not putting this team in the trash just yet. And the reason why I say that, when you look at some of the data, they have no loss outside of quad 1. Now, that's just me being positive. They don't have many quality wins either. Their best quad 1 wins are at Penn State and at Ohio State. But I will say this. We'll figure out. The reason I'm not throwing them away right now is because if they go at Purdue and then they go at Wisconsin, and they get 2 dubs in a row, those are good quality wins, and that gives them a little bit of hope. They lose these 2 games coming up, I'll put them in the trash. And that's not disrespectful. I'm just saying these next 2 games to me are going to determine the outcome of their season. And, Sweeney touched on a really good point. Their on-the-ball screen defense was horrendous, especially when you look at Rodney Rice when he made that shot. You've got to know, as Indiana, they're going to put Ballo in a pick and roll in some situation, ball screen, and try to get that mismatch. Rice that was a pretty open look, and you got to know that they're going to attack Ballo in that situation. And then to go down and have the ball, only down 1 and then shoot that 3 from the corner as your last second, your option to try to win the game. That was not a good look. They'll have to clean some things up. I've always said I thought Ballo 40 minutes or 39 minutes. That's a lot of minutes for a big, his size, and I'm not sure that workload is sustainable. You're going to have to get some bench effort. Goody's going to have to step up and give you some good quality minutes too. You have to, find something on your bench if you do want to see a little bit of hope for the rest of your season.
So you're not throwing them in the trash, but you're looking at the trash can. You're looking at it though, and you're thinking about it.
I'm debating it. Yeah, it's the trash can's open. I just haven't put them in there yet. So
yeah, exactly. All right, they're on trash can watch in Tyler's household.